For the short story unit, a message we wanted to get across is that sometimes people want to become someone completely different, and they shouldn't try to. You should be proud of your identity since it is unique to you. Some real-life connections the short story Fish Cheeks had was people having multiple cultures and people wanting to identify with another culture because they find their own culture embarrassing. A quote we got from that story specifically was, "Inside you must always be Chinese. You must be proud you are different. Your only shame is to have shame."
The next unit we'll be going over is Night by Ali Wiesel. Our driving question is, how does a traumatic experience shape a person's identity? I will answer this question with a quote on page 115. One day, when I was able to get up, I decided to look at myself in the mirror on the opposite wall. I had not seen myself since the ghetto. From the depths of the mirror, a corpse was contemplating me. The look in his eyes as he gazed at me has never left me. Ali's experience in the camp changed who he was physically and mentally. He went from a hopeful boy to a man who has lost faith in everything he had dear to him. Every day, he was in such a melancholy environment. It became the normal, and it changed him for the longest time.
What we learned from Lord of the Flies was how people, boys in this case, can become savage and lose their human side. The novel also showed us that we need to work together to get through hard times, and that some people abuse power when they have it. A quote that shows this is, "Jack planned his new face. He made one cheek and one eye socket white. Then he rubbed red over the other half of his face and slashed a black bar of charcoal across from right ear to left jaw. He looked in the pool for his reflection, but his breathing troubled the mirror."
During the Animal Farm unit of my freshman year, the teacher stepped aside to see what would happen if students took over and established their own form of society. Some people rose to power and had a lot of people join them, and few people opposed. These events are very similar to what happened in Lord of the Flies. What we have learned was that, when given the chance, some people will rise to power and dictate over people's choices or well-being. On to Kill a Mockingbird. It takes place in a town where rumors and discrimination run wild. All the regular townsfolk make rumors and judge people on such rumors, not knowing who they are on the inside. As shown by the quote on page 149, Atticus, he was real nice. Most people are scout when you finally see them. A connection to the society we have is interesting. It is divine.
Road work ahead? Yeah, I sure hope it does.
People would come to believe that the guy in the video would react like a normal human being, but instead, he said,
"Road work ahead? Yeah, I sure hope it does."
Because of his identity and who he is, he said something oddly strange but funny. What we learned from the novel was that people will start rumors about other people without knowing who they are or what they've experienced.
Macbeth showed us that people can manipulate others into doing bad things, which can change them completely, and we shouldn't let others change us for the worse. A quote that can be used to support this idea is, "First, as I am his kinsman and his subject, strong both against the deed, then, as his host, who should against his murderer shut the door, not bear the knife myself." Macbeth knows he shouldn't kill Duncan, but after he does, he goes downhill.
In Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury, we learned that the government can put limits on the information the public knows, and censors certain information by making it illegal. If the majority of the public doesn't know what books are truly banned, then they won't complain, except for a few people. Oh God, the terrible tyranny of the majority. We all have our harps to play, and it's up to you with which ear you'll listen. A connection we made was with the Mueller report summary. At first, when the Mueller report was released, it was only a summary, until people fought and argued to have the whole thing released, and lots of information was released when it happened.
And now for Hero's Journey. That unit showed us that everyone goes through their own quote-unquote hero's journey, going through changes which changes your identity throughout your life. Identity changes usually occur when one overcomes a challenge. Like, let's say you're trying out for a sport and make it onto the team, now being identified as one of the members on that team. For the Hero's Journey project we did earlier this year, a quote we pulled from it was, "There you will learn from Yoda, the Jedi Master who instructed me," introducing the idea that Skywalker has to go through challenges with Yoda in order to become a Jedi. And he does. Epic win.